Hello, hello.
Mineral depleted.
Looks like we're getting close. Oh, wait, that was iron. Hello, hello. Welcome back to Dyson Sphere. I'm Sirius, and I was considering if I should even record. I mean, I'm pretty sure this series is boring as nothing else to anyone watching. But then I was just sitting here quietly playing the game, thinking to myself, it is really boring to me to not record myself. So I'm gonna record myself. It's not like it's really making much of a difference if my videos get no views. That's okay. I'm not making videos to get views anyway. So we're gonna have to hook these guys up to power, and I think the best way to do that is just here. Yoink. And we might need to move some of these eventually. But I did place some foundations here to extend the land, because we are now going to need purified silicon so that we can start making our solar panels. So let's go ahead and set all this up. So we're gonna need we're gonna need more silicon ore, and I suppose we're just gonna start making glass. So let's go ahead and do that. Oops. Actually, haven't decided if the the silicon, if it should be on the inside here or on the outside. But I think it should be on this row, because it can reach this third row here, right? So we should contain it to here, because only having two different types of smelters in this line is kind of stupid. So we're gonna have to change the first one to the ore, the second one we're going to make into glass, and then the third one is going to be where we're going to make the purified silicon, right? Which means we're going to take that out, and then we're just going to have to set all this up with inputs, outputs. So outputs here, I don't know how long it takes, so we're just going to use the simple one first. If it's too slow, we can always upgrade after, right? And then over here, we're just going to do the same.
Mineral depleted.
And then we're going to remove that, and instead we're going to be grabbing silicon ore from here. Seems straightforward enough. And if there's a bit of downtime with something like purified silicon, I don't mind too much, right? It's whatever. This, however, seems to be working non-stop, so it's a bit slow. I think we're gonna put a second one. We still have space here, so I'm thinking of upgrading with one more brick and one more silicon, right? Because we were having some issues with not producing enough bricks as well, so let's go ahead and fix that. So bricks, and then silicon ore, and we're just gonna have to hope that we're producing enough rocks for all this, and if not, then so be it. We're gonna upgrade somehow. Alright, now I don't know if I will be able to... Okay, I will be able to squeeze this in here. I will not have to move this just yet. Here we go. So now we should be set up a little bit better. all full on boxes, it seems. But we're still making foundations. Okay. I'm going to put boxes here, so I'll need a foundation. Let's put it there. Let's put boxes here. Which we're going to want to put in. Yeah. I have to grab some here because I don't have any of the stuff. I do have that stuff. All right, so let's put one of these, one of those, and then one of these. Make that a filter, and we're good to go. I'm not really sure if we need the top, but we don't really need the top. The top is really just so that we can do stuff like this, right? So that we can move things from the top over to the upper conveyor belts and stuff like that. And once we have researched vertical construction, we can actually move things even further up in the boxes and then have them travel across like that, if we wanted to. Verticality also kind of looks a bit weird sometimes in the game. I mean, the planets are so small, you get this effect where everything's kind of just standing away from the planet, so building too tall also kind of looks a bit weird, but it doesn't look as weird or as bad as all these noodly lines, at least if you ask me. Oh, we're done. Oh, that's great. You can delete all of this. Oh, that's sweet. That is nice. Being able to just get rid of all of that is definitely a good feeling. Alright, so we also don't need this anymore. Oh, sweet. Okay. We've got a lot of space here now. And now we can start putting these outputs in here. Yep, I think we should be good on that. I'm always going to be using the fast sorters for these lines. Unless there's really no need, like for this iron steel, right? We're not producing it fast enough anyway. Maybe that's where, yeah, okay, we're not producing steel fast enough. We're actually producing bricks too fast now. Yeah, we should have made this a steel one, all things considered. Alright, let's just make this one into a steel one then. So we're gonna have to change the outputs and inputs. So let's go ahead and do this.
Upgrade complete.
Nice. Actually, no, that should be fine. We should be able to just grab it from there. So let's just do this. Okay, that's fast enough. I'm going to take these out and instead put one quick one in there as well. It seems like most of the iron that we're putting on this belt here is being used up. And I'm thinking this one has a product overflow problem, so we're going to change the output to go from here to this build instead. And we'll need to upgrade it because it's quite the distance. So that fixed our overflow issue, and it looks like we have an overflow issue here as well. Which, you know, fair enough. Fair enough. We're not using that much iron right now. So there's bound to be some overflows here and there, right? If you look here, you know, we're bringing so much iron out here, and then bringing that all through here. We're using a lot, but we also have a lot of surplus, so, you know. Anyhow, back to what we were doing. We were producing all of these things here, which is great, and so I'm thinking we're gonna want to produce solar panels en masse. Maybe. I don't know. Actually maybe not. Now that I'm thinking about it, we probably don't want to mass produce them. There's just certain things I don't think we need to mass produce because, well, what for, right? I mean, it's great, but the less factories we have, the less we have to just think about where to put them, right? So I think that's fair, right? So we're just gonna grab this from here and just make them like that. I mean, what's required for this? Oh, copper as well, right? So we can just finally use our copper for something. Right, so we can just go in here, grab some copper, and now we can make a bunch. I mean, the good thing about automating things is that you can then just do other stuff while it's being produced, but at the same time, if you just do it in the inventory, it's not that much different anyway. Let me get rid of a couple things in my inventory real quick, actually, though. I suppose one thing that it changes is you don't have to go grab the materials all the time, so that's a plus to automation. But at the same time, automation will always require you to have to finicky around with the automation as well, right? So I feel like sometimes kind of prefer not to have to deal with it. Crude oil, we can actually put that somewhere now. Might actually go ahead and take out the things that aren't going in here, and instead, okay, let's take this out. Let's take you out, and then let's put the wood here and take everything that is not wood, like so. And then we're gonna put all these things here instead. For a moment, I was wondering where did that solar panel come from. But yeah, I'm making that in my suit. Of course, making it in our suit, we're burning energy, right? So we're actively burning energy to make it, and so the automation is taking less fuel. It's just a question of, should we conserve fuel or should we conserve... Okay, now we're gonna automate it, so let's go ahead and do that. We're gonna have to get the silicon ore from purified silicon from here across to the other side, which, you know, that's going to be a little annoying, but just mildly. It's gonna be okay. We're just gonna have to get it next to the copper somewhere. So if I'm looking at where I'm running the copper, I'm running it on the top here, and then it's going down here. And it's actually also running in here. And do I have some up there? Nope, I don't have any up there. I could have some up there though, and then we could continue it to somewhere, right? So if I'm thinking about where I'm going to be producing solar panels, we're gonna have to get the purified silicon in there. And the purified silicon is also going to be used for microcrystalline components, which also takes copper and that. So already that tells me that I can make a production line out of that, right? So I'm already having two things that I'm producing with both copper and microcrystalline components, which these are then made into processors, which are going to require circuit boards. So I can make a line of circuit boards, copper, and silicon, and I can have 3 different outputs. So let's set that up somewhere, and I'm thinking we might want to set it up. Okay, so if I'm thinking about this, these are probably going to... So we have these here, and then the tier 2 here. We're going to have more tier 2 of the conveyor belts unlocked eventually and all that. So now we're going to have a bit of an issue that this is kind of in the way. So we're gonna have to fix that. And the storage container is not bothering me too much. It's just that it needs to be like this, right? It needs to be aligned with where storage containers go. And storage containers always leave room between them for free lines, right? So we'd wanna move that, and we're just gonna align this with that for now. And then here's a bit of a problem, so let's take that out, and then what we're just gonna do is we're just gonna quickly transfer everything over here. That should go quick if we use fast sorters, right? So we're just gonna sort everything in there real quick. I mean, it's going relatively quick, but you know, if I had an empty inventory, it would go a bit quicker, but
mineral depleted.
We can probably just take these and use what inventory space we have. There you go. Of course, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna hook this up again. It's not very elegantly hooked up, and it should go the other way. Yeah, it should go the other way, but... Okay, we need a foundation for that, so let's hook you up correctly. Let's put 3 here. And then you're going to output over here. And we're going to put a box. Gee, okay, I messed up. I'm going to put a box right there. Setting this up sort of correctly. Not really, but at least sort of. I'm not a big fan of the not really but sort of solutions, but sometimes you fall prey to it and you just want to get something out of the way, and then yeah. So, but at least we're keeping the grid or our lines how they should be. And so now I'm having a bit of a problem with the next line, because I'm going to need 3 lines for copper, silicon, circuit boards. And I'm gonna need 3 output lines, so this line needs to be on the left, and then there needs to be a line on the right. So I'm wondering if I should just do a double line here. Because yeah, I think most of these 2 lines here are mostly going to be producing the conveyor belts and upgrades. But I don't know. And we're gonna have to somehow get the circuit boards over here as well. Which obviously we can just grab them from here, right? We have them coming up here, and then yeah, so we can obviously grab them from here, which absolutely no problem whatsoever, since we're already directing them over here, and we just need to make sure enough are still coming through. Or we're just going to go to this box, and then it can evenly distribute them all to where they're needed. Yeah. We're not making enough hydrogen, I think. I had some here, so we can just input that there real quick. While I'm at it, let me get rid of this crude oil as well. Right, so I'm pretty sure we should be able to just take one of these lines and reroute it. So my only question or my concern is... Nope, I think I'm okay with this. We're going to go like this. Just going to do it like that, and I think I'm good with that. Yeah. And we're gonna do a box here, or so copper. Copper. We can grab copper from here. And we could route it. Currently trying to think what the most elegant solution is for the copper. Because I could, right, like I could put a box up here. I just need to be really quick about taking this down. And then I could get the copper easily from here to there, right, if I were to do copper. And then do the same over here, where I'm going to do copper, filter, right, and then can open this up for automation. And then I'm having copper at the top, since I don't seem to be needing it down here anymore. Now I can run the copper across here, right, by just going like so, and then I can grab the copper from over here to over there. And I think we're gonna do that with some fast lines. And yep, you should be copper, right? And then we're gonna want to open this up to copper. And now we're bringing the copper across. And I find this more elegant than whatever we're doing here, right? But I don't mind this too much. I don't mind this too much. It's just we needed too many different things, right? We needed 4 inputs here, so that's the problem we were having. Alternatively, we could bring these over here, right? We could instead assemble things here, which then we can grab these 3 things from there, and we can grab the iron from over here. Only problem, of course, being that then where are we going to put the outputs, right? So then we'd have to transfer the outputs across as well. So either way, we would have a we would have the problem, and that's just because there's, you know, 4 different types of inputs needed for these 3 things, right? It's fixable. It's fixable. Specifically, you know, we could move one of the factories or just something, and then we'd only need 3 outputs here, and then whatever. But yeah, I don't mind these too much. They're okay. They're okay. So now that we have a copper here, we're gonna have to decide on how we're gonna do things over here, and I think we're going to put the... What do we need again? So we need copper and we need silicone. Again, and the silicone is also used for this. And that is then used for these. And we're also going to be outputting... okay. So should we put the microcrystalline components here, then have our assembly line here, where this is making...
Mineral depleted.
Let's go ahead and add the foundation here. I think there should be fine. Right, so if one of them is making... where were they? These? The other one is making... Oh, wait, no. We needed circuit boards here. Yes, that's right. Circuit boards. There we go. Now that makes more sense. And we need solar panels, right? So, solar panels. And then... you also need it. Okay, so this is a good assembly line because it needs the same 3 inputs and the same 3 outputs. And so what I usually like to do is that the outputs are then being required by the next inputs, right? And I think that's kind of one of the reasons why I'm a little bit hesitant to put solar panels in the mix here, because, well, but it requires the same 3 inputs as the crystalline components and processors. It's literally requiring the exact same stuff, so it fits in here. I'm just not sure about putting it in the next thing, right? Because these are then going to be used for something else. And then solar panels are just kind of like oddly in there. So maybe what we're gonna do is we're gonna output solar panels to the side, because that's something we can do here, right? We can take the solar panels out like so, and just not have them part of the free line row, and just get them across and into a box somewhere where we're not disturbing the flow of things. But for now, we're gonna leave it here. It would be interesting if we could put a box up top, but that's definitely not possible. Oh, but if we put solar panels at the front, the only problem is we can't put solar panels on the front because it needs all three inputs, so we need all three inputs here. Okay, but I have an argument. If we put solar panels here, then we can make the crystalline components here. And then we can just feed these solar panels so if we're not putting a box here, right, that then would take care of it. Right, so if we just route these over there. Now we just have to get the copper in there. Which I'm gonna check real quick. This is 10 copper. You're 1 copper. Okay, so 10 copper, that's crazy, but it's the same amount of stuff. Circuit boards 2, okay. Are these used for anything else other than just being upgraded to processors? I wish it would tell you ahead of time, but whatever. So now we just need to get the copper in there, right? So arguably the circuit boards should be on the outside because we need the least of them. Right, so this should actually be the circuit boards, but it's too late now. We're just going to have to make do with this. So how do we get the copper? We're just going to run it down, I think. So we're just going to go up here and then drop it down to the ground and just right, so something that is difficult sometimes is it won't let you build this. But if you just go to the end, it'll let you, right? And then you just have to delete what you don't want carefully. At least that's how it always works for me. And we're gonna have to do the same with the silicon. We're gonna have to somehow get the silicon in here.
Mineral depleted.
Which I'm sure we can do. I mean, we're almost done with our research, so we can almost do the vertical upgrade that we need.
Upgrade complete.
There we go. We can now upgrade our production output here. It's just that I don't actually think we need to, because we're just not getting enough hydrogen anyway. The top one is never actually having enough. Alright, so that'll get us the copper. And now we just need to get the silicon. That silicon is coming from here. Right, it's coming all the way from here. And so we're gonna have to get it through this box into that box. But then actually that's not going to work because there's already 3 lines here, unless we go one higher and get the silicon all the way from, like, just at the top, right? So that's probably what we're gonna have to do. Start the third level here with silicon. Alright. I'm up for it, so let's just go ahead, plonk these down. Immediately shut them down. But then we're gonna want to... I don't know if this is gonna work. We're gonna try if this is gonna work, right? Yep, it's working. It's completely ignoring the middle the middle there, but that's okay. That's fine by me. So now we're gonna bring that across. Okay, so put that there. Take that out. Take the silicon. Put it in here. Set the filter. Take it out again. All right. Okay, one more over here. Take all this out. Put the silicon in. Filter. Take it out. And now we just need to get it over here. So, same procedure. Go here, turn that off, take these out. Actually, I don't think we need to take them out. They're just going to automatically disappear. I'm just grabbing them because I'm bound to need them at some point, right? So, alright. And then now we're going to put this down here. But there's no way for me to build this and just immediately say don't automate it. But yeah, as you can see, everything's just dropping out automatically. Set this filter, take it out. One for automation. And then we need to go one across here. Turn that off, wait for it to... Actually, I think this copper, this is not going to disappear, so let's put that in there, filter, one, okay. And then we're going to bring it from here to this box. And I think for that we just do this, right? Set the filter. And then we can do that, set the filter, and And then in theory, we should be able to get it all the way from back there over here and onto this conveyor belt. So let's go ahead and make this copper. And already we now have copper coming out. So now we're going to work ourselves forward, not backwards, forward, so we can see and observe the flow as we are putting things together. So we need to bring this up, I think 3 levels. Right here. Is this high enough? No, I think it needs to be level 4. Okay, go away. Okay, so silicone from here to there and then from there to there. Set the filter to silicone. Right, so that's cutting across neatly. And now we're going to do the same here. Same procedure. Go to level 4. Depleted. Set the filter input here. We could also do this on a lower level. You know, we could have the silicone go on a lower level. But sometimes I prefer keeping it on the level that, you know, it kind of needs to be. I don't mind these bridges here. These bridges, to me, they kind of look cool. We could do the same thing by going on the bottom, right? It's fine. It's just this box, from here we need to go above. Because we already have 2 levels here, so we need to have a 3rd level here. So while we could go on the bottom level here, we would need to switch to the top level here, so why not have it at the top level already, right? So that's the way I'm looking at it. Okay, so now we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 4th level again, and we're going to connect this here, but then we're going to put this down to as low as it's going to let us go here, which is sometimes difficult. So let's go up. Is it not going to let me do this? No, see, it is possible. We just have the problem that it's not going to allow it. As by usual, so I wish there was like a way to build this with ignoring the red ones, right? But you can't do it, so what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to briefly interrupt this so that we can build this. Right, it's a little finagly, but it'll look better this way. Okay, are we? No, come on. Okay, we're where we need to be, and now we just go down. Right, so we can now go in here. Right, we can build this out. And what we can do now is delete this, connect the bottom one with that again. And so now we can have a 3rd level without being too high. And from here we can connect to this and go up to the 4th level again. And build this out to there. should be able to... Wait. We should be able to continue this a little longer. And it's going up as fast as possible. So I feel like we definitely deleted too much. So let's take out these two. Now come on. There we go. So now we can take these out again. Oops. Alright, maybe I'm being too dramatic about the... Oop, my lord, that is... too damn high. Come on. I can't get this to go on the level I wanted to get. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. We need to go on level 4. And there you go. That's what I wanted. It's... When you start having these massive amounts of conveyor belts just going across, it starts actually looking kind of cool. And now the question is, are we going to do the same shenanigans over here as well, or are we just going to go on level 3? Right? Are we just are we just going to go up? Right? And as neat as this kind of sometimes tends to look, I'm not in the mood for it, so we're just going to go straight across this time around. It's just because this one is longer that I prefer to do this. Okay. Jesus. Another program just closed the app and asked me if it can make changes to my system. Okay, and over here we would actually be able to take it out on the second level, since, you know, we're not moving anything else across here, so we might do that, right? We might just do that, since, as you can see down here on this level, we don't move anything else, and I doubt we will, unless somehow we want to upgrade that to iron. But if we want to upgrade that to iron, we always can later on, right? Right, so if at some point we want to move more iron across on level 2, we can do that. But for now, we're just going to move our silicon across on level 2. Alright, so silicon. And that means we should almost be home. Silicon going in there. Lovely. Now we're gonna have to get silicon across here. And yeah, I know that eventually I might have a problem with the power. Because I might need to run 3 things across. But We have 3 levels, right? So we should be fine. We should be fine. Right, because I could technically also run the silicone through there, right? I could technically run it on that level if I wanted to. I just don't. I want to run it on level 2. So we have it on the same level as the copper. So we're going to run from there to there. Et voila. And then we're going to do silicone. Silicone. But here we're definitely doing the dip thing again, so let's do that. It's a lot easier on the bottom level, like this. And because we can just go from there and then we just need to build it out past, oops. Just be careful about it, and then we just reconnect here, and there you go. Now we just connect this, and we're good to go. Or not. Oh. I'm a dumbass. There we go. And so we have our 3 inputs for this production line here. And now we can start gathering the things. And so we're gonna put a box here for solar panels. It's definitely too close. I'm just realizing it's too close. If I want to line it up with the upper box. Well, maybe I don't need to line it up with the other box, at least not for now. It's okay like this, right? So we're just going to connect this like so. Boom. There we go. Now we're gonna have to see if we just connect it like this, if that's going to be fast enough for this to be working non-stop, right? So it's gathering all the materials, which is taking quite a while.
Mineral depleted.
So I think it needs 10, right? I mean, it's not getting the copper fast enough. Okay, so we want to upgrade the copper for sure. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's not getting the copper fast enough. Even with this slightly faster one here. So that's what I was thinking, why I was thinking, oh, this is an issue, right? But that's an easy fix, right? So like if you just want to change how these are aligned, you can easily fix that with a box, right? You just put a box in between.
Upgrade complete.
Put them in there. Filter there. If you really don't want to like go and reverse or rearrange everything, then you can just do it like this, right? And so now we're just going to grab our sorters. This is definitely not the best solution. But it's a solution. Just wanted to show it, you know, it's going to require electricity, right, for the sorters, and but if you really don't want to mess with the rest of what you've just built, which in our case it would be an easy fix, right? It's an easy fix. But this is a solution for if it's not an easy fix. So for the time being, I'll have this here. I'll eventually change it, right? I'll eventually change that. And so we now have a problem, and that is that it doesn't have any silicon, but we can fix that. Basically just making this thing work a bit. Right. And then I think we can just do that. See, that's kind of what I was thinking of doing. It's yeah. And now we need power. Here should be good. Yep. Oh wait, I'm connecting the wrong things like a dumbass. Okay, you know what? Let's just fix it like that. And then fix this as well. Okay, so I think we can downgrade you. It's grabbing the silicon fast enough. It's not grabbing the copper fast enough though, so let's upgrade the copper, which should be that one, and now we can watch it, see if it's going to be... Oh, it's just about not fast enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, it's just about quick enough. But the silicon isn't coming fast enough. Is that due to the production? So we can look. Silicon, we're making 30 per minute and we need 120 per minute. Okay. We definitely aren't producing enough silicon. Yeah, you can see the little trickle of silicon that we have. It's it's not enough, not even close. So we're gonna have to upgrade. But is that because we have a lack of... Yeah, so it's mostly because we have a lack of material here. So we need to upgrade in this direction first. You're gonna have to go. I'm sorry. And then... oh yeah, that fits neatly in there. Alright, this is no longer connected.
Materials.
And we're also gonna need some electricity. Here is probably fine.
Replication complete.
Right, so we just need more of these because this is constantly out of material. So let's make some smelters. 2 of them. Why can't we make more? Oh, we lack iron. Okay. We actually have a bunch of material like right here, so I mean... And there's not a lot there, but we had a bunch of material at least on hand. Right, so let's just go ahead and build this out. Should we just do that, or should we put a box here? I'm thinking we're gonna put a box here so we can have multiple lines of stone connecting into it. Yeah, let's do it that way, because then we might be able to hand some of the materials through. Right, because if I'm not mistaken, at least let me try this out. If we remove this, right, then this will no longer be able to grab stone from there, but we connect them directly like this. Yeah, it's too close. Well, my bad. Let's do it here then instead. So if we do that, but we put one here, right? And we connect them like that, and we set this filter to stone, and then we connect from here to there, then once this is full, it should overflow to here. No? Okay, no, that doesn't work. Okay. I thought it worked, it doesn't work. Okay. Okay. Good to have a clarification on that. What we would be able to do though, if we put a box here, right? If we put that in here to mirror the other side, is that by running stone into here, we can actually have a stockpile of stone if we wanted one, but I prefer not stockpiling too much. So let's just put a filter instead, right? And then have that come out over there. What we can do, however, is we could potentially supply the smelters, or at least the first one in the row, directly from the box, giving us a little bit more productivity, but you know, just a little. Okay, but now we've got that mirrored. Let's go ahead and input things here. I just like when things are uniform, right? So if I have boxes here, I want the same look and feel. And we're gonna want to put you here, which then we would be able to take you out. Okay, now we need to put inputs again for our trusty smelters. Is it fast enough? Oh, just about. Okay, we're gonna speed these up, because it's only just about fast enough. Our main problem is going to be the stone, right? There's likely not going to be enough stone coming through here. We're gonna need so much silicon. I'm currently thinking of moving everything. I'm thinking of moving this whole operation. And I'm going to do that. Because I think this stone that is on this line should be for the stone bricks. And we're just going to start a new line out here with more stone. right? Because quite frankly, this is not going to be enough. We will need so much silicon. Like, as you can see, this is just barely, 2 of them are barely producing enough. And if we make 4, if we make 6 more, so like how much more do we need, right? We're making 30. That means 15. That means 30 per one of these, right? So we need at least 6 of them, I think, or 5. 30 times 5. I can't do math right now, I'm sorry. For a moment I thought I could calculate that at the top of my head, but I don't. So we're just going to do a second row here, just because I think, yeah. Scrap the iron for that. I think that's definitely what we should be doing. Oh, we've got iron right here, right? So let's just grab 1 and 200. That should be enough for a while. And is it just me or no? I was wondering, are we running out of copper? But no, we're not running out of copper, I think, anytime soon. 2000, okay. So we're gonna make another row here. And then we're gonna have stone and more stone.
Upgrade complete.
Or should we do 2 stones, 2 rows of stone, and 1 row of let's just build it out first and see what it ends up looking like. Foundation required. Okay, let's build one here. 1 box there. And then we need a Tesla tower there. Which we then can get rid of this one, I think. Yeah, okay. And so if we make this like so. Now we just need to get the stone over here, right? Easier said than done. Yeah, the wind turbines are 100% in the way. Alright, so we can just go directly from here to there. And we can make another and go directly here. I'm fairly certain that if we get to a different planet, okay, like this one, this is going to have 0 silicon ore. Okay, what about this one? This one has silicon ore. Okay. Cold rocky planet. This is having a lot of silicon ore actually, right? And so we wouldn't have to then use stone for silicon. It's crazy that there's literally zero silicon on this planet. I just don't know. Oh, this has 150% wind efficiency and 118% solar efficiency, and on ours we have 100 and 100, right?
Mineral depleted.
What about this planet? So this planet is pretty bad with wind and solar energy, but it has 100% constructible area. It's pretty good. Whereas if you look at where we are now, it's only got... Why do I not see this? 57% constructible area, right? And then this one also has 100%. Right, so eventually we don't need to turn rock into silicon anymore because we can mine silicon directly.
Mineral depleted.
And if we're gonna need a lot of rocks or bricks, right? So, I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't be too hasty with making everything from rocks. But for now, we have rocks, and that's how we can make our silicon. So until we can get out there and actually mine the silicon, this is kind of like where we're at. Okay, so we can now delete this little path, and we can have an output for more rocks here, and I'm going to delete this one, right? So this will give us at least 2 lines of rocks here, and then do this, and we can put this and that. So now we're bringing a lot more rock in, which this is a small problem here because of the coal. But then again, we could just put the coal here, right? We can just put coal here, and that'll be okay. Ish. Right, ish. That'll be okay-ish. I think that works. I don't think coal is used for anything else other than graphite, so yeah. Okay. Let's now connect these. So we're gonna want output, right? We output these here, and then input, we'll take one here and one there and one there and one here. So now we have a lot more output in silicon, which probably still not fast enough for the one that we have going here, right? It's still lacking material. It needs 2 every couple seconds. And these just take a long time, right? They're so slow. So let's put a 3rd one.
Insufficient materials.
Yeah. My bad. I mean, it should tell us, right? So if we go to silicon ore, we're making 24 per minute. So we need
Replication complete.
more than double of this. So right now we have 4. So we need at least 8, maybe 9, right? That is just the way the cookie crumbles. for just one, right? It's crazy. It is literally crazy. So we can put one more here, I think. And then it would be too close to this thing, right? To this one silicon smelter here, so you know, we could put a graphite smelter here down the line, right? But for now, we're good. So, you silicon inputs from here.
Mineral depleted.
And then output here. Oh wait, what am I doing? I'm a dumbass. Okay. It's not enough. This is constantly lacking materials though, because this one is just eating it up. So we already don't have enough stone coming through here. And I'm kind of worried that if I build this up to the point that it works, we will not have enough stone coming through. And then we're gonna have to try and fix that. Wait. See, so like it's kind of annoying to just have to go here and grab them, but it is faster than just making them in the replicator, for sure. Okay, so I'm a little worried, but we should be fine. Right, so easy peasy. Input 1, input 2, output 3. I'm not putting a box in here because I see no point. Okay, so that looks fine. We might actually want to put a box in just so we can move a little bit of the stone from here over there. But then another problem that we're having is that this is already going as fast as it can, right? It's feeding as much stone onto this conveyor belt as it possibly can. It's just that the first one is grabbing things so fast that the second one doesn't have time. So, what happens if we downgrade these? Or downgrade the first one at least, right? It's then going to let every second one through, which should mean that both of them get to work at... Oh no, it's because the brick ones are eating up the stone as well. Okay, okay, I see. We're also making bricks here. That's a real issue. Yeah, that would be the real issue, actually. So this one's just not very productive. It's almost not worth having it at this point, to be honest,
Mineral
because...
depleted.
These are just churning away. Yeah, this is almost not worth having at this point, to be honest. So we're going to take this out of the production chain for now. And we're going to focus the production over here, right? So we'll just have to yeah, I knew it. I'll have to get rid of that.
Replication complete.
Okay, we can just put these here, there, and everywhere. And then let's put another one. There's a foundation required? Okay. Let's put it there, that should do it. Okay, so if we do 4 of them in a line, that's probably good, and then we'll do Did I mess up the boxes over here? No, I did not, did I? No. Okay. No, okay, I did not. There's just more space between these than between replicators. Okay, so we've got a lot of this set up now, so let's go ahead and connect them. We'll need, I'm doing outputs, 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 and then we'll need inputs. Okay, so input, 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 input. Yeah, they're all going to be working non-stop. And primarily they seem to be taking stuff from the bottom line, but that's fine. Okay, but it's not enough. We're only at 48 of 60. We still have lack of material downtime. So we need more. We need 2 more at least, I think. Output, output, input, 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 input. Okay. If we check now, our reference rate is we're making 60, we need 60. So it's kind of very unproductive. It's very unproductive, to be honest. Having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 just so this thing can run. And it's not grabbing materials fast enough, so we're gonna have to upgrade. So it's letting materials through too much, so that's another issue. So now we should be fine. It's getting there. It's still a little inconsistent. But for the most part, I think it's working at 100%. You can also check in here, right? If you're supposed to be making 30 per minute, right? And then this production rate is going to tell you how close you are to a optimal setup. If you compare that to our copper, for example, we are producing 59.8 copper per minute of 60 per minute that we could produce under perfect circumstances. So I'm not sure why we're not producing the perfect amount of copper. Because this thing is just constantly working. And so, but my only guess is that if we upgraded this, that might help. Because we're very close to 100 here, so maybe every now and then we're losing a little bit of copper. So with time, this might actually, because you can see, right, every now and then there's a 9 in here where we've only produced 9. And that's probably because every now and then we have product overflow. Like right now. So we need to work on getting the copper out faster, right? But sometimes you just don't need it and then that's fine, right? But specifically if you need more of, you know, so we're producing 60, but we need 187. So currently we need more than we produce. So this should definitely be at 60. And it's gonna get there eventually, right? So I'm pretty sure it's never been only producing 9 in a 10-second period anymore, so looks like we're golden. I'm gonna check real quick on how many solar panels we have, because that's what we said we would do this episode. So let's grab them and end the episode on just spamming the shit out of the equator with solar panels, right? So I think we're going to put, let's make a bunch of Tesla towers as well, right? Let's make as many as we can. Okay, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to do that. We're going to put a Tesla tower in between where we have the boxes. And then let's take this guy out. Right, and then we can do 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we will do another Tesla tower. Yep, so that's exactly 4 and then 1 Tesla tower, and then 4 and then 1 Tesla tower. That's how we're going to do it. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't have space for Tesla tower here because of all this mess. But we're going to take that out. And we're going to do, I don't know how much would have fit in there, but we're just going to do, I think we would have been able to put 1 in there, I don't know. Let me think for a moment. So this takes 2 and this takes 2 as well, right? So it's 2, 2. So there would have been the Tesla tower. There would have been, so 3 and then the Tesla tower. Okay. I think that's it. All right, 1, 2, 3. Oops. So we're definitely gonna have a problem here. So we're just going to interrupt things. And apparently we are not connected over here, so that's because these don't actually spread the electricity, right? They produce them, but they don't spread it. So let's put a tower in there. Now let's go the other way as well. 2, 3, 4. Let's lay some foundations. You don't always need to lay your foundations directly next to one another. You can kind of like leave a gap and it's fine, right? Alright, Tesla Tower. 1, 2, 3, 4. We can definitely slap a Tesla Tower in there. And then we need a foundation. That should do it. So we can't put the solar panel here. So we're going to put it there. I think that's the exact distance it needs to be. If not, oh well, we'll fix it. And now we are at the edge. So I'm not sure if we're going to go like all around yet. I mean, do we have to? Yeah, well, yeah, we can go a little further, right? So let's just go ahead and you can, as far as I know, I can leave a gap of 2 in between. Okay, we definitely need another foundation there. I think I'll build it out to over there and then I'll call it quits.
Mineral depleted.
Okay. And then one more here. Actually, I now feel like using up my solar panels, so let's do that. And I know we don't necessarily need the Tesla towers out here because we haven't built anything out here, but I just like to have them in between. Just for aesthetics on one end, and the other is we might want to build things out, right? So okay, let's there we go, that should do it. We only have 8 left anyway, so let's wrap this up real quick. And if anyone was watching till the end, thank you so much for watching. I know this is not the most exciting series. I might make another series, you know, once I've actually built the whole goddamn Dyson sphere. I might make another series where I'm trying to be as efficient as possible and I'm using designs that, you know, I've come up with to make everything really, really productive. Anyway, we can actually go in here and go to the power tab and it's going to tell us how much we're generating with our solar panels. So currently we're producing 46% of our power with our solar panels. But that is because currently, you know, it's daylight, right? So they're pretty much producing the most amount that they could. And eventually they're gonna go all around. So the output should be the same at any time of day, right? Because eventually, right, they're getting less and less and less productive, like over here. The last one over here is starting to
Mineral
be
depleted.
only getting so much. I mean, it says it's still doing... Okay, so now it's dropping, right? So they're dropping from 100% yield down. So if you then open this up again, you will see a drop in power. Right? You can see it's starting to drop down. But yeah, eventually this is going to go all around the equator in the center, and that'll be nice. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.